All right, guys, we are back, and let's do this one. I think this one's going to be a little bit of a challenge, this Madrid. So Alt and scroll button again to remind you how to zoom in and out. Hold down the space bar to pan. So I'm going to come in here, and I think what I'm going to do strategically is kind of do the whole hand first, and then after that go back and cut using my shape and pathfinder tools. So let's go at it here. Let's start from here. Just a little bit of a curve going in that direction. Make that curve. And again, because I know I can adjust it, I'm not going to try to be perfect. I am just trying to be close, or actually it's not even important that you're that close. I'm going to try to do a single point at the end. Other softwares are not good when you do that, but I think this one will work. Here, and then click and drag to here to control, and then get to a point of a curve. All right, I think I'm okay. I like that strategy. And then it just reverse curves here to here. And I'm going to do a straight line, and then here, get my fingers. Let me try this. Yeah, maybe I like that one better. And remember, if you can close it, that'll be great. All right, so I got the basis down. It's okay. It looks chunky right now, so let me reduce the line so that we can kind of see and really touch it up a little bit more. So obviously I want to fix this. So I'm going to I added more points. You want to come in here, and you want to adjust the handle so that at least the curve is, going pretty smooth. I'm okay with that. Maybe this one I'll fatten the finger a little bit, and to give it a little arc right here. Adjust the curve. Maybe move the point. And sorry if I'm mumbling, it's because I'm talking to myself or thinking. All right, so it's interesting here because this was a straight line. I think I'm going to live with it, but just know that I just see it. All right, I think I'm good with that. I'm coming around. So this is different, right? You see these curves, I put a node right here. This one, I put a node on the two corners, two slightly different techniques. Again, it's just the way how you want to solve that particular problem. And, there's always multiple ways of doing things. It's just the way how your brain works and what you're trying to achieve at the end, and using the best tool for it. Yeah, I think I'm good with that. I mean, it's a pretty decent sketch, actually. Use this guy to adjust that. All right. Pull this guy in. And you see how I'm really paying attention to this curve and transition, because this node or this anchor point and these handles are controlling basically halfway point between this anchor point and that point is handled by this curve. And so I just want to make sure halfway up to here is good, because this curve I can control with this guy. Right, so that's kind of, oops. Oops. Okay, I'm not going to beat this to death, but I say that looks pretty good. So then now I want to create some secondary lines so that I can cut and slice these objects. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to start a point somewhere here and end the point somewhere here. And let's adjust it now. So this one will handle that particular cut. Let me do another one here. Click and drag to start a curve. And I don't know, maybe this one comes across. So let's just take some design freedom here and see what they intended to do. Oop, that's going to be wonky, but I'll fix it. Let's get in here and let's say we didn't want this sharp turn. Again, you're going to hit the handle. All right, so we're going to do that. Oh, actually, I'm going to make it disappear. So that way that I can, let's see if I can adjust it here. No, that was not good. I just undid it. And I'm also trying to figure out what would be the best way to do. Yeah, I want that curve to kind of come in and swoop around. And let's move this up a little bit like that. Yeah, want it to be a little bit smoother. Let's pull this out a little bit so that it looks like a palm. This guy needs to come up here a little bit. And you see how I hit the path, right? Which kind of highlights the handles and the anchor points that are creating that path. Yeah, I think I like that much better. All right, so there's that. There's another shape here. Okay, let's do that. Undo. Escape. I'm going to come here. Create this. Come to the other side. Don't worry, we're going to adjust it, but I think I want to control this curve with the anchor point here. Ooh, I don't know if that was a good move. Yikes. All right, let's see. Yeah, let's try it. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to stop it. I think I got to come across to cut up all the shapes. It's okay, I can combine them all later. You'll know what I was thinking in my brain, by the end of this demo. Okay, let's come here and then let's touch this up. All right, so let's pull this thing. Come on. Here we go. And this curve is too high now, so bring this handle back down. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yo. Man, I have a big screen and still it's hard for me to grab some of these things. All right, let's... All right, I think that looks good to me. Let's, we still have to do this and that. We are at 9 minutes. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna come off. I'm going to come across here. I'm going to make this curve because I think it's supposed, I doubt that it's a straight line. Do you think it's a straight line? Well, maybe. So then I'm going to come here. I'll do a straight line. And then I will curve this thing. And then here. Okay, let's do that later. But so here's a kind of vocabulary. So this is called a closed path, which is just one full loop. And you could tell if I put a fill on it, that is, it stays within the shape. Okay. This is an open path. Let me make a copy of it and let's do that. So the stroke is there, but look what happens if I fill it. You see how it goes from beginning point to end point. It just kind of closes it. But what's really an important note on an open path is that the stroke won't close, meaning you see the stroke is still here and there's no stroke outline here because it's an open path. Depending on the artwork that you're doing, it's going to make a huge difference. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select all the items and I am going to go to a pathfinder and I think I'm going to do intersect. Ooh, okay, give me a second. Sorry guys, I am back. I had a little brain fart because, anyway. So you select everything and then you come to the pathfinder. Again, if you don't have this property bar open, you're just going to go to window and hit pathfinder. I have it open so it's checked. And then here, you know, you're familiar with this tool here, you know, which is combine. You're going to hit this, divide. So what it's going to do is it's going to take your closed path and any lines that are ripping across it, and it's going to divide it. So, oh, I have to select it. Divide. So you can see now my hand is divided. A couple of things. You want this path here. Oh, okay, so they're grouped. Remember that. So you're going to right click and you're going to ungroup. So now this is independent of this path here, right? But you want to combine these two paths because they both should be red. So I'm going to hold down shift and click on that and I'm going to go combine. So now I have one red shape and then this is fine because I think that's a different color and I'm going to divide this soon and these two should be combined. So I'm going to select that and that. Oh, shift and combine. So that's one shape. And this guy and that guy should be one shape. Okay, so we're getting close. So now we have to divide this up. So I'm going to come back in here with the pen tool. Come in, kind of start this curve. Finish this curve. And then select both of these objects, which is these here. I'm going to move it across so you can see. Okay, I'm going to take it back and I'm going to hit divide. And it divided that, but it's still grouped, right? Because it was the prior operation. I'm going to right click and I'm going to ungroup. And now I can fill that with a different color. And then here, same thing. I'm going to just come here. Do that. I hit A on the keyboard, so you definitely want to start to use the shortcut keys. Pull that over here. Okay, so let's just do it like one step at a time. I'm going to take these two objects here and hit divide. And then ungroup. Now I just have to divide this object here, which is I'm just going to put a little curve like that. That works for me. And I'm going to select that, shift, select that, use those two things to divide, and now it's just a matter of filling them. So again, I'm going to select this. I'm going to make sure I have the fill in front, and I'm going to hit I for eyedropper and pick that color. Select that. I for eyedropper, select that color. Select that, I for eyedropper. That's the best way to do it. Select that, and I'm gonna make that just black. Select that, I. Keyboard V, keyboard V is the selection tool. Keyboard I is the eyedropper. I'm gonna hit V again, I again, V. Make sure I get the right color. Icon. Okay, I'm going to go back to that later. We got to do something there. V again, and then eyedropper there. I think you guessed it by now. I forgot to ungroup it. Hopefully you kind of figure that out. And since there's no outline here, I can keep it wide, or I could just simply delete that. All right. So now I have my Madrid 2016 finger hands, and I'm going to group them so that when I move it, it moves in the, as a whole. But again, I'm going to stress the importance of vector versus raster. This is going to be, you can make this into a billboard and the artwork will be perfect. Whereas here, it's all pixelated, and as you enlarge it more and more, it's going to look more grainy. Okay, so oftentimes when you're doing professional graphics work, they take the time to make vector graphics. Okay, see you guys later.